Hey guys, Basil and Wolf from Grayson Hobby, and today we have a new product from Emax. It is the
Emax TinyHawk 2 FreeStyle.
Complete ready to fly.
Yeah, this is the ready to fly package from Emax. It has everything you need out of the box, in the box, ready to go other than you. It just needs you to fly it.
Right. So in this video, we're going to open this guy up. We're going to open the box, show over the radio, go over the goggles, go over the quad, show you how to hook up the batteries, some tips on the battery and antennas. Then we're going to show you exactly the steps needed to take this out of the box and to fly it in your outside.
To get you in the air.
I say outside, why?
This is not an indoor flyer.
Yeah.
For those of you looking, we also carry an indoor version, the TinyHawk, ready to fly.
Yes.
So there is an indoor version, but this is the one that's going to be great for learning freestyle and the basics of outdoor flight. But basically, this is just the newest version of that one. The flight performance is pretty much the same.
So this video is sponsored by Grayson Hobby. Emax did not give us this. We bought it with our own money, and we're going to review it because we think it's a good product that you guys who are starting at FPV.
Full disclosure, it's sponsored by Basil because it was his money. I didn't buy this.
Like always, if this video you find it useful and helpful, hit that subscribe button and be sure to support Grayson Hobby. If it's a pack of props, batteries, quad, jumper
Every
radios,
little bit helps.
Everything. Everything ships from right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Located right outside Atlanta, Georgia. It's usually about 2 days to the entire east coast of the country.
Also check out our Facebook group with a lot of tech support, help, stuff like that. We got a pretty good little community.
Yeah, everybody's helping each other out.
Everybody's been really good, very helpful in it. TinyHawk FreeStyle 2, TinyHawk 2 FreeStyle. Emax, what's with using the same name over and over and over and over and over? Okay, okay, you get the point? So this is the ready to fly combo, guys. So you'll see, first of all, really nice little case, storage case. It's got a little shoulder strap and everything. First things first, we got the transmitter here, which is like your video game style controller, which is more suited for people that are getting into it kind of thing. It's a little more ergonomic. Emax's goggles, it's a little diversity goggle here. It has channel frequency, etc. It is adjustable for the magnifier inside, so you have a little bit of range of adjustment there. It's a smaller goggle, but it still fits a decent sized face and all that.
Does it have a DVR?
No, I don't believe this one does.
Okay, you see a little DVR, what do you call it?
No, there's no.
Should be right there. Okay, no DVR.
No. A bag with very, very simple getting started manual in there, a link to their like their help support tickets and all that.
And I would not take that and just throw it away. That's actually got some good information.
The TinyHawk 2 FreeStyle. So you can see this got the better camera and all that on it. Really nice paint job.
Okay.
So but there's more.
Oh,
there's more.
Okay.
Spare props. Check.
What props are those?
Those are the Avon 2.5.
And what's that? Avon 2.5. Okay.
We have a battery for the goggles. The transmitter actually has a battery inside it already, guys.
All right.
We have 1 and 2 batteries. This is for the TinyHawk. It does use 2 batteries at once. This one did not come with the jumper to make it a 1-cell operation. This is the USB that will charge the transmitter or the battery. Okay. And I believe connect the beta flight if you need to. And that's everything in the box, guys.
All right. So let's quickly go over each one and then we'll go for a test flight. All right. So while we go over there, let's charge these batteries so we could fly it in here. And
I'm sorry, what?
Charge the battery so we can fly it in here.
I'm not flying this inside, just so you know.
So it's not an indoor model.
No, this is like a backyard park flyer kind of thing. Right. This is something you can fly it. It's a freestyle. It's for flying. So it's not a inside. It's not a tiny whoop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. This is, I mean, no guards, no nothing. 2.5-inch props. That's a lot for inside here. I'm not that good.
That's a bummer. So, but let's just go over the quad.
All right. So the quad itself has an integrated flight controller and speed control. It's a 4-in-1 speed control integrated. The motors are 7,000 kV 1103s. So it's a beefy little motor for its size. It has the Runcam Nano 2 camera. So it's a nice little camera. That's the biggest upgrade realistically from the older model is the camera itself. Guys were 3D printing guards and putting different cameras on it. Well, now it comes with it and it's $10 more than the other one. So worth every penny of that for the camera because that makes a huge difference. And if down the road, if you want to upgrade to a Nano, like a Predator camera or something like that, you can as well to get even better.
Would that be a plug and play upgrade? I always put you in the spot, don't I?
Yes, you do actually. So it does have a plug here, but most of the cameras are going to be reverse plugged. So you'd probably, depending on the camera, you'd have to solder.
So depending on the camera, it could be plug and play.
There's probably a couple out there, but I would say, yeah, plan on soldering.
Okay.
But the camera that comes on, it's not bad though. I mean, it's a good camera. It's the same as the King Kong ET125s and all that. I like the camera, but there are times to where there's always better. I mean, it's a $20 camera, not a $50 camera.
Right. Okay.
Which is to be expected on a $120 quad. It does have the double battery connection, 2.5-inch props.
So let's talk about the battery.
So the batteries, basically, you're gonna put 2 batteries in this thing.
So is this a 1S quad or a 2S quad?
2S.
2S. So
designed for 2S.
So you're using 1S batteries in series.
Yeah, they did that so they can get away with a cheaper charger, etc. You don't have to worry about batteries going out of balance.
Yeah, and they can reuse this battery because it's been used in the old TinyHawks.
Yeah, so you can either mount it like that, you can do it sideways, whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, you're getting 2 batteries in there. So depending on your preference, mounting these things, etc.
Now the only drawback,
as long as you get that out of the way, some people like to twist it, put it up. But however you want to mount the batteries, etc. But make sure you clear the props because that will get chewed up. One thing I would recommend is get yourself a zip tie and put it on the body, run it out, put a little piece of shrink tube, at least get that antenna, or even do the antenna up vertically. But a lot of guys were telling me that have owned this locally that they have clipped the antenna on the props, so that is something I would make sure you secure it. If you put a little zip tie and shrink tube over it, kind of like we did on other quads in our videos, it'll just keep it from getting into the prop as easy. So that's a big plus right there, or a big mod I would do probably out of the box. Just
I call it just a setup. What do you call it, mod?
It's a modification from stock, so yeah, it is a mod.
All right, whatever. Technically, and just
it's something to do. Okay. First props though, it is a 2-screw design. 1.5mm Allen wrench is not included with this. In the past, Emax has included like little Phillips head screwdrivers and Allen wrenches. They didn't include it in this one, so you will need a 1.5mm Allen wrench. You can find those all over the place, stores, stuff like that.
We got them here.
We sell little Allen wrench kits as well, which would be nice for this one. It does come with spare screws and standoffs, so that is nice. The charger is a 6-bay 1-cell charger. So if you buy up to 4 extra batteries, you could charge all 6 at one time. And it uses USB, so if you got like your cell phone power brick, stuff like that, you plug it in there. You can plug it in a computer too. It might be a little slower, but it would do it. The USB cord, so it would connect for Betaflight as well as charging the transmitter and the battery for the goggles.
All right, back up. Betaflight.
It does run Betaflight.
Okay.
The tune on these is actually pretty dang good out of the box.
So you don't need to configure anything. Can you just, in theory, plug it in?
Being this is ready to fly, the rates are probably turned down pretty aggressively.
Okay.
And there's usually PID profiles, rate profiles. You can do that right through the stick transmitter OSD programming.
Okay.
Change the profiles as well, which I'm pretty sure is in the digital manual for the TinyHawk. Again, guys, remember, you're not going to see paper manuals much anymore, especially with all this COVID crap. So the goggles use a single cell battery, and this is a 18650 inside here.
Oh, okay.
So at first I was like, oh no, they're going to include a very specific battery that you have to go spend $30 on if it goes bad or replace it. But this is just a holder. So if you lose the holder, yeah, you'll have to buy it.
That's a good idea right
there. But that's an 18650 in there, single cell.
So if you're running any kind of...
so you can get extra batteries, stuff like that as well. Cheap. Plugs on USB. It plugs in. Power right there. Goggles. Has a little fan.
I can hear. Oh,
yeah, it has a fan, keep it from fogging.
Okay.
Nice little foam, actually. That's probably some of the nicest cheap goggle foam I've seen.
Oh wow, yeah. It's that little.
Yeah, it might hold that sweat though.
It's spongy. I like that. Yeah.
But it's a smaller screen, probably 4-inch screen, maybe 4.3 inch.
Enough to get you started with.
Oh yeah, plenty. Absolutely plenty.
The biggest question people are going to ask when they're starting out is, how do I connect the two? Where's the bind button or the scan button?
Frequency and channel. It does have an auto scan. Woo! I guess that's what the A means. M, I'm not sure. Probably some kind of.
Everything has auto scan these days. All right, so let's go over the transmitter.
So the transmitter itself is extremely basic. It's a 6-channel radio, but again, very basic to keep the cost of the product down. You have 2 3-position switches.
Okay.
And you have the throttle and yaw gimbal, and then you have the pitch and roll gimbals. These are trim tabs. Guys, if you're new to this, don't be playing with these because all you're going to do is adjust the trims out of whack and the quad might not arm. I've actually seen that twice now from people that have adjusted it by not knowing.
Don't touch. Out
of the box, you're best not to do it. If you connect to the computer, you'd sub-trim it, whatever, that's fine. But you're best not to mess with it because they set it from the factory for the most part. Now, to turn it on, you just push and hold the button.
Well, what do those switches do up top?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
So you hear the audible beep to turn it on. There is a green light. It might be hard to see in the video, but there's like a faint green light in there.
Okay.
And as far as the 3-position switches, you have the left switch is going to be your arm and disarm.
On and off.
Yeah, it's 3 positions, so all the way up, all the way to the 3rd position is arm, down is disarm. The other one is the flight mode switch, is easy, intermediate, and advanced. Okay. So on easy mode, you're locked to, I just pushed the trim tab. On the beginner mode, it's locked to like a 20-degree tilt, so it's super like easy to fly, but it also is very restrictive. So if you've had any experience on a simulator or anything like that, so you're going to be going, like whoa, there's not enough throw. Like yeah, it's very pretty much hovering. Yeah. The middle mode is the intermediate, and then that gives you more control, and then the advanced is like, you know, acro. The cool thing is though, even though out of the box it's set very, 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 I don't want to say weak, but not nimble, but just docile.
What's that?
What?
What's that weak?
As far as the rates, okay. Like it's very
on all the modes, or
very marginal. Well, in that mode. Okay. But the fact that it is beta flight, you can go in, connect it, change it, and all that. So you're not locked to this. It's not like the old E010s where you had a button to go from nothing to everything, and that was it, or a flip switch. This one gives you the ability to connect to beta flight later, adjust it, change the switches if you want to add a different mode, etc. You can do that. But also at the same time, you're not limited to this radio. Okay. So keep that in mind. If you guys are getting the Radio Fly setup, this is not the end all, has to be together forever kind of thing. It's not permanently matched. You can bind this to anything that's running, I believe, D8 or D16 mode. So like the FreeStyle radios or the Jumper radios or the Radio Master radios, etc. As long as it runs D8, D16 on these. And you will have to set up in beta flight if you do that. It's not going to be
not necessary, but it can
itself.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just your typical setup, like other videos we've done.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So if you guys let us know below if you want us to do like a little kind of a video talking about doing some adjustments to this. Maybe that's something we can do later on if you guys are really interested in that. But as far as out of the box, it is designed for someone that has zero flying experience. Keep that in mind. So it's pretty much going to be something that hovers, and you'll be making these sticks go everywhere trying to get it to move. If you've done any simulator experience and all that. So just to give you an idea, this is out of the box. I haven't connected the computer. I haven't done any mods or anything like that. This is as you would get it. So we're going to put in a quick little hover just to show you what I'm talking about, and the steps necessary to get you in the air. Pretty simple. All
right.
Again, the first thing they do recommend, though, if you do read the one sheet of paper they have,
quick start.
Yeah, if you could do that. Does talk about flying line of sight first. It's a good idea simply for the fact is if you're not used to it and you punch that throttle, you got goggles on, next thing you know, you're in the sky, it's all blue, you don't know where it is, you lost it. It's bye. Bye-bye. Don't do that, okay? Put it on the ground, do a quick line of sight. One, you'll get a feel for how it moves. You can manually, and worst case scenario, kill the throttle and get it back on the ground, and hopefully it doesn't fly away. Because it can happen if you just do that.
Throttle, yeah.
So right. Keep that in mind, guys, okay? So what we're going to do is the first flight, do line of sight, and then we'll show you the goggle part. So I'm going to turn on my transmitter. Heard it beep. And I'm going to plug in my batteries. Now this is going to go here. This might not be the best way to secure it, but I'm going to put it in there just because we're going to get in a hover anyway.
And we're going to make sure our antenna doesn't get chopped, because that would be the worst thing ever, is having your antenna. Okay.
All right, got it plugged in.
Okay, so that's plugged in.
Let it sit for a second. Should be good to go. And I'm just going to kind of manipulate these a little bit to where they're in the middle there, just to make sure. Kind of tuck it. Yeah, I like that. Kind of twist that wire. Granted, that's still not the best way to do it. There's probably better on that. But to get us going, and a quick hover, check. Prop clearance good.
Okay. So go to our landing pad.
Our landing pad? Not in the middle of the floor.
Or this is going to be our takeoff pad.
All right. So on that, throttle down.
Wait, what'd you touch? Which button?
No, throttle down.
Okay.
Top left switch towards me.
And they start automatically spin. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna give it throttle. You see, I'm giving a lot of stick command. I mean, it's still. Now this is called drifting. One, it could be because the gyro is not calibrated, and two, it could be because of the ground resistance because we're inside right now. So I'm actually getting a little forward lift drift. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to land it, disarm, and I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to stick to the bottom left corner, left stick, and then down for about 2 seconds. And then I'm going to go on my, and what that does, it calibrates the gyro.
All right, so that gets, okay.
That hopefully will cancel our drift. Let's see what happens. No, actually that was probably just the ground takeoff, Yeah, that's a lot better. I still have a little bit of drift. I would like to hook this to beta flight to see if that's the case, but since we're gonna pretend we're a noob and don't know what's going on, bouncing's normal, by the way, it's called air mode.
All right, let's see that, do that again.
I'm gonna give a trim.
Do that again, bounce it.
So if I cut the throttle, keep in mind the props are still spinning, so it's gonna sit there and bounce.
Once you hit the ground, you wanna cut throttle immediately.
You wanna cut the switch.
All right.
Disarm. A lot of people like to actually hover just above the grass, if you're flying in grass or anything like that, and disarm just a little bit off the ground. That way the props aren't spinning in.
It plops in the grass.
Yeah.
Okay. So line of sight. What I always like to do, I like to keep the quad pointed away from me.
Yeah.
And I like to just go back and forth, because back and forth on your controller is back and forth. It's forward and back.
Yes.
If you have it reversed, then left is right, right is left, and then you're going to get rolled over.
So keep the back of it towards you, so that way forward's always forward, right's always right, etc.
And you can get some yaw in there, the left's one.
Yeah.
All right, so we mastered line of sight. So let's do our goggles.
All right.
Mastered line of sight. Now we're ready to move on to stage 2.
Yeah, now we know how the throttle reacts, etc. I'm gonna turn it on. And I was playing with the buttons earlier, so I think it actually comes set on the right channel. Okay. But I was playing with buttons earlier, so we're gonna hold that A button and search again.
Okay. There's
that's the status, yeah. That's because. All right, so I hit the A button. It searched. It took a minute, but it did end up finding the channel.
Wait a minute, it's broke. My screen's black.
That's because I got the cap on. But hold on.
Sneaky. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna show you. So if you look here, see it says in the top corner that signal strength for the RSSI. R045768, I think that says. I'm trying to do that without, so you can still see it. Now that's what the goggles are set to, the blue. Okay. If you look at the bottom left,
yep, there it is.
That in white it says R425.
Yep.
That is race band 4, which is correct because it matches that, and then 25 milliwatt.
Okay.
That's beta flight. The bottom center.
Oh,
this is the information you get on the screen here. I want to show you this first. Bottom center is battery voltage.
Yep.
Bottom right is your flight timer, as long as it's been armed.
Okay.
And then the top line is just the name.
Yeah.
They didn't actually put RSSI on the OSD. You could add that later if you'd like. I don't know why they didn't do that. Personally, I would add crosshair because I like it. Don't judge me, people. And RSSI just because it's good to have. However, Emax probably took RSSI off for a reason because theirs are all over the place.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what you'll see on display. Now, if we pull the lens cap off, ready? Get to see your ugly mug.
Oh, there I am.
Scary.
There we are. All right, go hover.
All right, I'm gonna hover it real quick.
So I'm gonna record.
You guys can pretend you're in the goggles.
Wait, this looks like it's pointing straight up.
Huh? It's probably because it's tilted.
So I don't like that. What do I have to do?
You can adjust the tilt.
All right, so I can push the camera down there. Okay.
Did it say armed or anything?
Yeah, it's armed.
Okay.
You know what this looks like? It looks like I'm a stormtrooper from Star Wars.
It's actually fairly manageable. Very smooth. But again, if you're new to it, probably not the best idea to fly inside so you don't hit props and tear up motors and stuff. Take it outside.
Yeah.
But you could do this, you know, backyard or something like that, no problem. Very quiet too.
It is very quiet. I like that. There you are. Now let's
So
see.
I just disarmed in the air.
Oh crap! I didn't get the disarm. Can you arm it again?
Oh
Disarm?
yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, we got it. We got it. So right there, you can see your stats.
Is that the status?
Yep. You see your total arm time. Your back. So I see total arm time, min battery, min RSSI, and then total flight time.
So there is active RSSI. It's just not turned on in the on-screen display settings in the beta flight.
So that's pretty good information. And the battery voltage, does it have it on there? I saw it been 7.2.
Yeah.
So, all right, when do you land? What voltage do you want to land at?
Typically,
3.4
per
per cell. So that would mean that would be
6.8.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of low.
That's under load though.
Okay.
So if you're flying, the battery's going to read lower than it actually is.
Okay.
Once you land, the battery voltage will come up.
Okay.
When it gets that low, it does sag.
So when you see that around 7 in your screen,
yeah,
Tom, just think about starting to land.
Yeah, land quick.
Yeah.
You don't want to fly the batteries dead because 1, you can hurt the battery. 2, the quad can fall out of the air. If you're up high, you could damage it. And 3, it just takes
you
longer
may
to charge.
lose it if you're flying on it. That's it, guys. Hope you like it. There is lots of ready-to-flies out there, so be sure to do your homework.
But basically, guys, this is just a really good little combo. The goggles are nice. The transmitter will get you going. Not bragging on the transmitter in any way, shape, or form. It will get you going, though. And the quad's actually really nice. This is a great little flyer. I know a lot of guys locally and all that, they're buying these up to fly at the parks and stuff like that, keep it in the car, and fly it during lunch breaks, all that, because it's not going to piss off everybody in there.
It's very quiet.